What's up, y'all? This is J-Hub, and this is J-Hub Wrestling Pub, and this is my cousin Zach. He's gonna help me out tonight. He's a little bit too young to be in a pub, but I'll make an exception for tonight. We're gonna do a wrestling review, WWE Raw, and tonight is kind of funny. The chairman of the board, Vince McMahon, came out at the very first of Raw tonight, and he discussed what happened at Money in the Bank with CM Punk taking the title, and he called CM Punk a few choice words, and then he said that he has a vision for the future with these young superstars, so he said he needed him a new WWE champion. So he decided to have an 8-man tournament for the WWE Championship. So, and he had John Laurinaitis in the ring with him, with his bruised eye, black eye, whatever you want to call it. So it was kind of funny. Yeah, exactly. Whatever you want to call it to start off the match, start off the Raw tonight. So the first match he came up with was The Miz versus Alex Riley.
Man, that was a heck of a match.
Yeah, it was a pretty good match. You know, there's a couple botches in there, but all in all, it was a pretty good match. The Miz ended up coming out on top. He ended up pinning Alex Riley, and with his injury, his knee injury, which is it's a fail. But anyway, he ended up winning that, and he was put through to the semifinals. And the next match on the card was, it was R-Truth and Jack Swagger. This match was okay. You know, Jack Swagger was whooping the crap out of R-Truth halfway through the match. But then, I guess you could say that the voices started talking to R-Truth.
The truth shall set you free.
Exactly. And he ended up pulling out the win and advancing to the semifinals. And then the third match was Rey Mysterio versus Dolph Ziggler.
Oh.
That was Dolph Ziggler. He's a punk. And now it's focusing on Zach. What you got to say about it, Zach?
I don't know.
What do you think about Dolph Ziggler?
Boo. Sucks.
What do you think about Rey Mysterio?
That's what I'm talking about.
So, Rey Mysterio ended up pulling this one off, which I thought was kind of strange. But, because I thought they would give Dolph Ziggler a bigger push. But, the next one on the card was Kofi Kingston versus the new Money in the Bank champion, or the Money in the Bank holder, Alberto Del Rio. Now this is a pretty good match. Both of these guys are pretty good, and Kofi Kingston, as you all know, he's a high flyer, and Alberto can be when he wants to. The whole match is pretty good, except for the end, which was a big botch. And then they kept replaying it over and over and over again. Kofi ended up winning, which I figured that would happen since Alberto holds the Money in the Bank briefcase. So that was pretty self-explanatory, and it was a pretty good match.
Yes.
The next match on the card was a Divas match. Beth Phoenix and 7 more Divas in a tag team match, an 8-girl tag team match, I believe. No, 7-on-7 tag team match. Now, it was a Divas match, and I didn't pay much attention to it, but I know that Beth Phoenix ended up winning, and she pinned Rosa Mendez at the end. So that's that. I don't really care about the Divas, but I guess it was a good match. I couldn't tell you. Next was the semifinals. It was The Miz versus Kofi Kingston. Now, really and truly, I thought that Kofi Kingston would pull this one off.
Me too.
Because he needs a push. Now, I figure that Sin Cara probably was going to be in this match if he didn't get suspended. But who knows what would happen. But I think Kofi Kingston should have been in the final match. But no. Him and The Miz had a good match, and The Miz ended up pulling it off at the end. So he advanced to the finals, which doesn't make any sense to me, but if The Miz were to be the new WWE champion, it wouldn't make me mad either, because he was a good champion, you know, before John Cena took it from him this last time.
Yeah.
Next, we had the other semi-final match, which was Rey Mysterio versus R-Truth. Now, this was an awesome match.
Yes.
And both the Truth and Rey Mysterio, you know, put it all out there. Rey Mysterio took a dive outside the ring, and R-Truth, you know, did all his regular, you know, kicks and high flying stuff. But who won this match? Zach, you remember?
Yeah.
Who won?
Rey Mysterio.
Rey Mysterio pulled it out. Now, this is another shock to me. I didn't understand why Rey Mysterio won this match. They've been pushing and pushing and pushing R-Truth as a heel, making him all crazy. And that's the truth. The whole truth.
Nothing but
the truth. Anyways, I figured Truth would win and at least get to go to the championship match and do something. But they're going to continue with this whole conspiracy thing, and that's cool. But I think it's funny because my cousin Zach, he just thinks that R-Truth is hilarious. He's crazy. Now,
he was really cool when he came here, remember?
Yeah, when he came to Evansville, Indiana, he was the coolest guy. He brought fans into the ring. He was all nice.
Dancing with them.
But, he had to turn heel, and now he's acting all crazy and talking about all the little Jimmys out there, which I guess Zach could be considered a little Jimmy.
Yep.
And my cousin Brendan could be a little Jimmy, too. But
little Jimmy!
But I guess R-Truth got, or whatever you want to say. Rey Mysterio got him tonight, and he ended up going, to the final. Now, Rey Mysterio was waiting in the ring for like 5 minutes, through commercials and everything, waiting for the last match to come on, or for him to be in, for The Miz to come out, and after commercials, McMahon's music comes on, and he comes out to the ring. Now, this is okay, but I thought it was kind of odd. Vince McMahon walks out to the ring. He gets in the ring. He says, "I'm sorry, Ray." He said, "You're going to get your chance, and The Miz is going to get his chance, but we're just going to have to postpone this until next week." He said, "I got something. I have a major announcement I got to make." So I really thought the way Rey Mysterio looked, I thought he was going to do something to McMahon, but he didn't. He got out of the ring and let McMahon do what he's, come out there to do. So McMahon was out there talking about, John Cena. He's done all this for the company. He's been great for the company. And I'm just going to, I hate that I have to do what I'm going to have to do. And he said, "Well, let's get this over with." He said, he didn't even say Cena come out. He said, "Let's get this over with," and then Cena's music hits. And Cena starts walking, you know, he gives his little salute. He walks down to the ring. And Cena just grabs the mic right out of Vince's hand and starts going off on McMahon. He don't really curse him or anything, and he doesn't, you know.
He wasn't going to talk about his family this time.
Right. He said I'm not going to talk about your family, but he said, you know, John Cena said he loves the business, which everybody knows he does, and he said that he's basically going to take his, if they're going to let him stay, then he was going to wrestle somewhere else, and he put, yeah, brother in there, so that kind of gave you a sign that he was going to take his ass to TNA, which I thought that was a shocker. And then, you know, Vince got the mic back, and he said, you know, you're not going to get out that easy. And as John Cena was trying to get out of the ring, he stepped back in the ring, and then whose music hits?
The Game.
The Game, Triple H. The Game walks down, gets in the ring. Again, well, he didn't grab the mic from him this time. There's a mic laying on the mat, so he gets the mic, and he's like, Mr. McMahon, we had executive meeting today. He's like, last night I had to take a flight back to headquarters, and we had to have an executive meeting with all the executives, and we were talking about you, talking to Vince McMahon, and I thought that was freaking great. I never saw that coming at all. And he said, yeah, he said we filed some kind of grievance for our confidence in you. He's like, we no longer have any confidence in you, basically. And he said, we all voted, the whole family voted, and I'm relieving you of your position in the company. And he said, and we voted on a person to take over. And then there was a big pause, and he said, and that person is me. So freaking Triple H is going to take over the day-to-day operations. Now, I think this is great. I think they're going to bring back the Attitude Era. It's going to be a little different. And next week, if we don't see CM Punk, I really think we're going to see CM Punk next week. Do something. Either throw the title away or do something. Because people were chanting his name and chanting his name. Even with Vince McMahon standing in the middle of the ring. What was he doing standing in the middle of the ring after he told him that?
Crying.
He was crying. He was bawling his eyes out. Vince has been the chairman forever. He took it over from his dad, and he made it what it is today. And everybody respects him for that. And it's just time for him to give it over. So this was his way of passing the torch to Triple H, which I thought was great. And at the end, all the fans, were chanting, "Thank you, Vince." After, before, about 5 minutes earlier, they were chanting, "Hey, hey, hey, goodbye." So that just shows you the respect they have for him. At the end, they were chanting, "Thank you, Vince." So I wouldn't be surprised if Vince didn't get put in the Hall of Fame this year, and Triple H just take it over, and Vince finally stepping down, and hell, getting rid of all the stress, because man, being that big of a wrestling promoter has to be really, really stressful. Is there anything else you want to say, Zach?